It's Thursday, August 20th in the year 2020. So I thought I should do a video, see how things are coming. Let's go back to the north side here. We're getting real close to having the heavy work done on the north side of the wall. So you can see that the trench is still open, but the foundation work is all completed all along there. We've discussed how this is done, that John took out rotting parts, rebuilt it with original stone that the masons had in, filled in on top of that with mortar and other field stones, and then covered all of that with concrete. After that was all done, now he's placed the treated plywood up off what currently is grade level, but will turn out to be roughly grade level, and then he'll cover that with some metal mesh. And you can just see it over here. Here it is in a wrap. So I'm not sure if we're going to use the fine graded stuff or this stuff, but either one I think will work just fine. That will get placed roughly in the same position as all the treated plywood is, and then the clapboard siding goes back on, and further down the line we'll repair that little bump out there, get it all scraped and painted. Don't think I've ever showed you the top there. There's a access door up there. There's a door that fell open, and so it's lying on the inside, and we'll clean that up and have that remounted. So that's the north side. Now as we move along here, there was a window in this section here. We don't want that there, so we just took it out, and John is framing in where the window was, and so this side will all get covered with clapboard siding. Now let's move down towards the west here, towards the big corner problem where the tree grew in, and now everything is getting filled up. So he's finished again all the foundation work along the west side, same process, and now you can see that piece of treated plywood is mounted in its position, and this one is perhaps going to go in when he gets done framing in this opening where there was a door. So I told you about the door before. It's hiding over there behind those panels. This door, or I should say this opening, is now getting all framed in, and it will all get covered with clapboard siding again, so it'd be pure wall here. John will take this window out later, fix that. We've talked about that before. And then that'll bring us around to the last wall, which we haven't started, and that'll be worked on later. The same process will happen over here on what is the south wall. The south wall has the least bit of varmint access. So there is some right underneath that door. We'll again dig a whole trench along here and do the same thing that we've done on this side and the north side. A little point, the door that was way down there will be replaced over here. So this is an actually more contemporary door, believe it or not. But the door that goes here will be much more in style with an old barn. That'll happen in a few weeks' time. Now let's come back around and go inside and see. Mostly John did some inside work today because we've decided that with everything he does, we come up with more things for him to do. So he's going to be building a stairway, an interior stairway. And to talk about that, we're going to go over here, and you can see this interesting little structure here. If I back up far enough, that's basically a ladder. John and I took that out earlier today, and it used to be placed in not that cavity was a window, but right next to it. So you can see this location here took us upstairs. So you used to crawl up that ladder section there, and that's how you had access to the attic. Well, we're going to have him build a stairway. So we're putting in initial support posts here. These are temporary. And tomorrow John will start cutting the opening in the rafters here to reframe so that a stairway can be built, and the side will be flush along this wall. I think I'll take you upstairs a little bit to show you that we're still going to have some cleaning out to do. We have a lot of old things up here, most of which was here when we moved in 26 years ago. Make sure I don't fall off this ladder. So here we are. Here's the door to this opening here. It's we'll put a fresh coat of paint on it and rehang the hinges, and it will swing out. That shouldn't take too much. But here is the fun mess that's up here. A lot of old shutters. There's a big, you can see an old Windsor chair I got from a friend. Said, yeah, I'll fix that. And well, that didn't happen, but I think I will fix it at some point. You can see underneath there's a lot of old exterior shutters there. Way back underneath that window, there's another pile of them there. And over here, it's hard to tell in the light, but there are some really odd historical things over there. There's a part of an old buggy back in there. And then along here well, now it's totally dark, you can't see, but a whole stack of old windows and things. So we'll be cleaning this area out in a while. Okay, I also have some just rough lumber that I've thrown up in here, and a couple of bicycles, and a couple of panel lift winches that I got from Dad years ago. I think I was planning on making some kind of a device where I could crank things up from the outside and get them up here. So that may happen. Anyway, here's the attic of the barn. I've talked a bit about before that you remember that center post that's right underneath there. At some point now we can put another post here and drive it all the way to the peak, because that peak is actually sagging. That's much higher, but we'll be able to do that somewhere down the line. Anyway, here's the inside of the barn, of the attic. I'm going to back down the stairway here, and hopefully I don't fall. So that's going to take some cleaning out up here. But that's something John is working on for the next couple of days. I move my crummy 61-year-old legs down this ladder. Have to go up there actually tomorrow to move a bunch of that stuff that's overhead. Have to move this stuff overhead so he can cut into the ceiling to frame it out to accept the stairway. And that stairway will run, I don't know, I guess between these two posts. So these posts are pretty much where the stairway will run. And it'll be the bottom of it, and we'll go up there. Once these posts are fixed in here permanently, he's going to encase them in wood, and then we can attach things to them if we want. Different ways to deal with it. I should mention that when the stairway is all done, this original ladder section is going to come over here and get turned and placed right along this plane here. So it'll be a ladder section. Not that you're going to crawl up to the attic with it, but Eileen wanted it to stay in the barn, and so it can supply a little bit of structural integrity. And if we want to, we can turn those steps into small shelves, maybe even put shelving all along here. That's a lot of possibilities of what we can do with that. But it'll create a wall here, and Eileen wants to maintain as many things about the barn as is possible. So that's the update for Thursday, August 20th.